Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spiegel Mom Scraps channel. It's Caitlin here with another process video. Today I will be sharing a double page layout featuring some of these papers as well as a ton of photos. So I'm going to start here with some white cardstock to try to figure out how I want to lay out my photos. These are all photos from the Natural History Museum, the Smithsonian Museum in DC. I wasn't sure how I wanted these photos arranged or which ones on which page, and I apologize for the camera focusing issue. When it has white paper in front of it, it does have some difficulties. But here's what I end up coming up with. It was a simple 3 on each page sort of layout, a grid on the right and then a sort of vertical look on the left. And then we'll take a short change of scenery here and we'll start working on the layout. Now I did cut some papers while I was off camera, so I apologize for that. But I'm going to put the photos back where they were. This was after a little bit of a move, so I'm at a new desk, but everything comes together the way I had planned it originally. So I put all the photos in the same exact spot, and then you'll see the gold polka dot paper on the left hand side behind those photos, and then the green sort of damask paper on the right hand side, as well as a little strip on the left hand side next to those photos. I'm looking at these Mampy stickers. They're clear stickers, so they're a little bit more hard for me to use, but I do enjoy trying to use clear stickers. I think it's one of those challenges I always enjoy. And in case you guys didn't know, I am working from a kit for this project. This is my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit for February, so you can catch more of this on my personal channel, and I've been working with it a lot on this channel, so you can check out my previous videos here on the Spiegel Mom Scraps channel for more details on that. Now I'm looking through all the embellishments in my kit, and you'll see I pulled out that ampersand, and I also pulled out these cork pieces from Fancy Pants Studios. So that's where the fun begins. I get this idea when I see this ampersand to do a very long title, and that will come back to be a little bit of a hassle later on, but I am glad that I did it, because it did let me use more of my letter stickers, and I've been really wanting to do a sort of mixed typography title, so this helped me explore that idea. And here are those Fancy Pants cork stickers from the Dream Big collection. I will be using those to bring in some more cork, because I want to keep that element driven throughout the layout to give it a little bit more interest. And then here I decide to bring out some washi tape. I go for this little guy here. It's like a chevron sort of pattern, but it's in a black, but the chevron keeps changing like directions, if that makes sense. You'll be able to see it in the close-ups a little bit better. But here I start gluing down my layers, nothing too fancy. I have the gold metallic dot over here, and then I have the photos, and then I have my little green strip again to give that sort of cohesiveness to a layout. You want to keep the colors on both sides pretty even, especially if it's a double page. But you don't have to. There's lots of ways to pull off a double page without doing that, so it's truly up to you how you want it to turn out. But I decided to do that for mine. And I ended up using all of these as 4x6s. I didn't cut any of them down, and that's usually something I do because it saves me a lot of time. I don't edit my photos after or before I print them. I don't crop them. It's just I print them how they are. So I make sure to sort of take my photos in a way that I know I'll be able to work with them, if that makes any sense. So leaving a lot of white space around the object of the photo sometimes, that way I can crop them if I need to, physically after they're printed. But that's just something it's a personal preference to do it because I don't like photo editing that much. So I end up doing a washi tape frame around this green sort of pattern paper, and you can see that adds just an emphasis on it, and I really enjoyed that. Then I add a little bit of washi tape again on this bottom left side to bring in more of that black color, and it's sort of an off black, it's not a true black. Next up, I'm going to think on my title again. I want to make sure that ampersand stays front and center so I do not forget about it, because that's definitely the main piece I want to use. I looked through these Fancy Pants die cuts quite a few times, but I only end up using I think one, which is that label I just put in the bottom left. Here's my attempt to getting more of that craft and cork color into the layout, is by pulling out those embellishments, which includes LA Studio tags, some more cork stickers, the Paper House puffy stickers, and some jelly bean soup die cuts. That was the one thing I pulled out to kind of give it some more of that craft cork color. And again, these Fancy Pants cork pieces, which are gladly stickers. Always love when things are already stickers. And I end up using some stars, that little sign that says "This Way" with that label from the other Fancy Pants collection. And then I accidentally ripped one of the stars, and so I just let it be where it was. And then I just kind of, you know, fly around on this layout. It's not that I have an idea in mind. It's just when I see something, I grab it and pull it out. Like I pulled out that Tim Holtz chip that says Adventure Awaits. I think that's really cute for this sort of museum. And then there's one on the other side that says Dwell in Possibility, which again, really cute when you think about this sort of museum. And since I do a lot of long titles on the left-hand side, I decided to do hidden journaling on the right-hand side to sort of give it, you know, a rest for the eye so they don't have to look at the journaling right away. And that ends up going in that little envelope, which I have, I believe, is a Studio G pocket right there. But that I've had those for a while, so not 100% sure where those are from. I bring back the gold polka dot paper that's on the left-hand side and make a layer of it beneath my other photos. I think that adds just a little bit more cohesiveness to each side of the layout. And if you guys are interested in getting sketches on the layouts that sparklers do, let us know in the comments down below, and maybe we'll start releasing those in the Spread the Sparkle Facebook group. If you guys didn't know, we changed the name of our Facebook group to be a little more inclusive. And we can accept all sorts of crafts that use beautiful sequins. It was formerly called 15 Minutes to Scrap with Spiegel Mom Scraps, and now we're calling it Spread the Sparkle. So lots of fun happening over there. If you haven't checked it out yet, definitely join us. I have a link to it down below in case you're interested. And we're now hosting weekly scrap lift challenges where we pick a sparkler of the week and scrap lift their project for a possible winning at a prize. So definitely check that out. Again, I'll have it linked down below. And you see that I finished making my photo grid over there, and I'm starting to glue stuff down. You can kind of see the layout coming together. Now this layout didn't really have a plan at first. It kind of just came together on its own. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't happen. In some cases, that's a lot of cases. But I didn't really have a plan for this layout. Double pages are sometimes very difficult for me because they often start looking the same. But for this one, I tried to make it unique by giving it a lot of white space, and then the big title will come in at the end. I pulled out one of these Amy Tan gold thickers that says yes. I just thought it was nice and cute and almost makes it look like the right page and the left page could be separate pages if I wanted. But I start in on the title pretty much now, and that takes up a bit of time in this process video. But there's no need to fret. I will not make you watch me glue down every single letter that's here. But the title ends up being a sort of list of the things we saw within the museum. And if you guys visit museums, you might realize that you take a lot of photos, but you don't really want to scrapbook all the photos. And that's what happened sort of here. I didn't print all of the photos that we took here, and that's because I thought it would be super obnoxious to do so. So I ended up picking out like a couple. I think there were 10 from the Natural Museum of History. So I work with those to create some pages. And here you'll see me doing the title. So I'm just right now making some different words, a list, if you will, out of those thickers, and I will switch it up with other thickers in between. So right now I have tigers, dinos, and blank, oh my. So I'm going to work on that to get the rest of the words picked out. And that was mainly based on what letters I had left in the alphabets I had chosen. So you'll see I pull out green letters and try to use those. I pull in more of that cork. I pull out a cork sticker, which is from Oriental Trading, and I'll stack some of my smaller alphas on top of that. So the title ends up being Tigers, Whales, Dinos, and Rocks, oh my, because there are like gemstones and geodes and things like that at the one side of the museum. So I cover things that are all in the photos. There's a whale in one photo. I didn't go for elephant because that takes a lot of letter stickers that I did not have. That's a lot of ease. So I definitely didn't go for that one, but this is essentially what the title will look like. I will rearrange it so it fits a little bit better together. Other than that though, I'm going to just glue them down. I do put extra adhesive on the back of pretty much all of them because I did have some issues sticking. But once those are glued down, we will continue on with this layout. Next, I want to focus on a couple more bits, so I think it's just missing a couple touches. So first, I look through my sequin mixes. The two that I have in this kit are Metallic Mess and Earthy Treasures, and these two are some of my favorites for these neutral, sort of outdoorsy, sort of natural pages. I just like the golds and the whites and the clears and the browns. I just think it goes so nicely together. And you'll see me sparkle these around the entire layout. And one thing that I really wanted to point out in this section is that I make a cluster over the bridge of the layout. So you'll see that there's a sequin above the S in the word tigers, and then there's a little sequin next to the cork star on the right hand page. So you can see that the little clusters that I'm making span the pages, kind of making it even more of a solid piece rather than two different pieces. But I'm just going to glue those down. Again, I use Metallic Mess and Earthy Treasures, and you guys can check those out. I'll have them linked down below if they're in stock, but if they're not in stock, you can always click the little notification so you guys can get notified when they're in stock. Metallic Mess and Earthy Treasure have become a go-to favorite of mine. I've realized how much I love those big white and clear ones that are in these two mixes. And guys, if you don't like big sequins, you gotta try it out. I don't know if you guys have tried this size. I know they're not in all of the mixes that Jody makes, but when there's a mix with lots of large sequins, it's always one of my favorites. So definitely check them out. I'll have them linked down below, and you can use my code Caitlin15 for 15% off your next order. Now I do go a little sequin crazy on this. It's such a large page that I wanted a lot of little glitz and glam around the outside. Again, that kind of pulls in with the crystals that we saw. Bringing in these shiny things makes sense to me, but that's just kind of how I went with it. Next, I grab a little bit of this twine, which I believe is from Lawn Fawn, but I could be mistaken, and put it through my tag and just simply knotted it. I like the black and white again because it brings in the black from the title, from the stickers, that sort of thing, and even the washi tape has that black to it. Then I go back and get some Tim Holtz stickers. I like using the black ones, again, for more contrast. It's just something I tend to do. And I pull out a couple of those and put them into the clusters that I already created, sort of filling in those awkward gaps if you have any. I think these are very useful for that, or covering up a lot of extra white space. Like in this elephant photo on the left hand side, I think there's a little bit too much white space showing the architecture of the building, which I'm not really touching on this page description at all. So I'll be putting one there and adding a little extra glue to that to make sure it's secure. Once that is glued down, this layout is complete. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and be sure to check out the Spiegel Mom Scraps Facebook group called Spread the Sparkle, linked down below. Here are some close-up videos of this layout. I apologize for the weirdness in lighting. I did just move and I do not have my lights set up yet, so I'm working with one light and one regular lamp. It's a very weird combination of yellow light and blue light, but I hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless. I'll also have some pictures on Instagram and on Facebook if you guys are interested in seeing some more up-close versions of these. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!